decided to go live for a little bit because, honey, I've got something crazy to tell you. So this is my, excuse me, Sunday rant to get the week started. So here we go. Sitting in the apartment, doing what I usually do on Sundays. What I do on the weekends, I relax. I watch a little bit of home decor, decluttering videos. That's what I do. So I'm a YouTube fan on the weekends, most definitely. Okay, so I'm chilling in the bed. I smell smoke. So I'm like, okay, this don't smell good, what I'm smelling. Somebody's burning something. So I open the door, look out the hall to the left. I can see smoke in the hallway. To my right, the main door is closed. So I don't know if it automatically closed when the little siren goes off to let you know there's a fire in the building. So we have an intercom system and it'll say, there's a fire in the building. There's a fire in the building. Please do not use the elevators. Take the stairs. So I said, let me start getting dressed. I'm going to go ahead and get dressed because I can see the smoke is in the hallway. So as I'm getting my coat, my shoes, my purse, need ID just in case, walk out, lock the door. My elderly neighbor, she's coming out across from me, and she's got like her laundry basket in a little push cart. So I'm like, ma'am, do you need me to help you out? And she's like, no, I don't have my walker. So I'm looking at her like, well, push this inside and go get your walker. I can't go down the stairs. I said, ma'am, I can help you down the stairs if, worst case scenario, we decide to take the stairs. No, I can't. So Queen says, so ma'am, you're going to go back in your apartment and you can smell the smoke and you can see the smoke. Yes, I was done with the conversation. I left her right there at her door and I went through the big door and shut it. I was sitting in the lobby because each floor has its own lobby with, two chairs and a little brown table. So I sat there. Other neighbors started coming out on the other side of the hall. They had a little bit of sense about them. They started coming out. We all started conversing. Out from the hall where I live, this white guy comes out. He's got his backpack on. And I started talking to him like, who do you know whose apartment it is? Something to that effect. So basically he says, it's mine. And at first I didn't really catch it. And I was like, huh? It's my apartment. So that's what threw me off because he didn't seem frantic. So I'm looking at him like, okay, I guess it wasn't registering with me. Duh, you're supposed to come out your apartment. I guess if it's really smoky, duh, you're supposed to do that. But it's just his demeanor was weird to me. And he said, oh, somebody was in there cooking. First he said somebody was in there. I said, well, where are they at? Somebody was in there. Somebody was in there cooking. It didn't make no sense. You come out to the elevator. You say somebody was in your home. They're cooking. They're the reason that the food was burnt, whatever, but you're just la-di-da like it's no big deal. And then he has the nerve to say, do you know who was arguing last night? Some lady was arguing with somebody. Do you know who was in her apartment? Motherfucker, I don't care about who was arguing last night. You ain't concerned about what's burning in your apartment, which I get it. If it's bad, you got to come out of there. But I guess I wasn't really thinking that he needed to be out. You know how it is when you just, you're in the mode. So I'm just looking at him like he's a fool. So you know what the first thing I said? I said to myself, ain't nobody in his apartment. Ain't nobody in there that burnt nothing. He burnt something and he came out. But what's weird is when one of the ladies was dialing 911 and talking to the dispatch, it didn't sound like somebody else had called. So it didn't sound like he had called and say, hey, I'm apartment such and such. I burnt some food and my apartment is smoking. I'll meet you downstairs in the main lobby. We didn't learn all that he went downstairs to meet the fireman until the fireman came up, went to his apartment. They came back out in the lobby. Me and the lady started asking them questions, or the lady and I, excuse me. And that's when they said, oh yeah, he met us down in the lobby. But the thing that bothered me is that he had kind of an attitude with me when I was asking him questions, about where the smoke was coming from. And he just nonchalant say, oh, it's somebody in my apartment. And I'm thinking, well, where's that person? Hi, how are you? Thank you so much, honey. Thank you, KS. That's what was weird to me. His attitude was strange. A person is asking you about the smoke, and you're saying, oh, somebody's in my apartment, but yet we don't see the other person. You're the only one exiting from the door. Only two people came from that hall. That was myself. Stay woke, everybody. That's something in my eye. Sorry. I'm the only one that exits first because I'm close to the end. You are all the way at the end where the smoke is. You come out a couple of minutes after I've been sitting out there talking with other neighbors who are from the other hall. Are y'all following me? Nobody from my hall came out of their apartment except for me and the person whose apartment had the smoke, the alleged burnt food. And then I had one lady over here, she had the nerve to say to me, like, well, don't get upset, because I was trying to explain to her what he was saying, and I almost cussed her out, like, you don't tell me what to get upset about. First of all, I'm minding my business in my apartment. I didn't feel like putting on slippers, a sweater, grabbing my purse to come out here and converse with strangers and talk to a fool whose apartment where the shit was burning from, okay? So don't tell me what to get upset about. I didn't like his attitude. That's what I was trying to explain to her. I said, I didn't like his attitude. And then she gonna look at me and say, well, don't get upset. And I'm looking at her like, excuse me? I'm like, yeah, I can get upset because I'm sitting out here coming from a smoky ass hallway on a Sunday, minding my business. Oh, what is this in my eye? Lord of mercy. And that's that. I know right when I go live, something will get in my eye. Anywho, everybody dispersed. Fireman went downstairs. And I was just sitting here thinking to myself, you cannot be nice to people, such as neighbor across the hall, elderly lady, who wants to sit in a smoky apartment, because what you have to think of is a worst case scenario. Now, the building I moved from, there were many times the fire alarms went off. I didn't get dressed and leave because the fire or whatever it could have been, smoke, from burning food, whatever, could have been on a whole nother floor than my actual floor. So usually I didn't get up and jump up and get dressed and go outside when it was other floors. You understand what I'm saying? But in this instance, I could smell the smoke. I looked out, saw the smoke. So something said, just be on the safe side, get dressed, exit to the lobby, because I didn't know if the elevators were going to be working or not. So one guy, I remember, he had came up while this was going on, and he lived down there, and he was asking 1,000 questions too, like, do you know which apartment it is? Is it such and such apartment? And I'm looking at him like, because y'all know how Queen gets. I said, I don't live down there. I said, sir, I don't live down there, because he was coming off the elevator. I said, I don't live down there. I don't know whose apartment it is. I said, the guy just came out. The guy that just walked past you, it's his apartment. White guy, thin hair, baseball cap, it's his apartment. And he didn't seem too frantic about whatever the hell was going on in his apartment. And then, he had came back up and he was good. Smoky apartment. People act really peculiar in strange, dire situations, as what I'm saying to you all here. You would think the people on my floor, my hall, let me say my hall. You would think the people on my hall would say, I probably need to get up and get out because the smoke is getting thick and I can smell it just in case. But yet only two people come out on my hall. That's Angela and the person whose apartment the smoke was coming from. Everybody else stayed in their apartment. The only people that came out besides the two on my hall, other people, 3 or 4 came out from the other hall. And, we all talked amongst ourselves in the lobby, our floor lobby. And one lady, She said, oh yeah, I'm going to say something in the office about this. And I said, yeah, me too. I said, because the fact that he wants to try to pin it on somebody else, and let's say it was somebody else in there, he didn't have no concern for that person, that they're still sitting in a smoky apartment. What sense does that make? You know, you can die from smoke inhalation. Many people die from smoke inhalation. So that's why it was weird. The lady across the hall, she didn't even want to just come out her apartment and just go sit in the lobby. And I told her, I said, ma'am, you want to lock your door? No, I don't want to lock the door. I said, well, you want to come sit out in the lobby? No, I can't go down the stairs. And I'm thinking, well, we have 2 stair landings. We can either go down this one, of course, which naturally we're going to go down that one because that's where the smoke is coming from. So we have the other one down the other hall. There was no need of even trying to keep talking about getting off the floor because she had made up in her mind she'd rather die up there in the apartment than make an attempt to at least push her cart in, get her walker, come back out, lock her door, and exit out the big swing door to at least sit in our floor lobby until we get an understanding of, you know what I'm saying, what was really going on in that person's apartment. I realize I get tired of being nice. I get tired of looking out for people, being concerned. I did what a good neighbor is supposed to do. We both are coming out at the same time, and I'm asking you, do you need some help? Ma'am, do you need some help exiting your place? Would you like me to help you get to the bottom floor lobby? No. I can't go down the stairs. Naturally, the elevators were still working. So we could have gone down the elevator because it wasn't an actual fire, but something had been burning on a stove. And you're going to tell me you want to continue to stay in your apartment where you can smell smoke and you can see it. You could look down the hall and you could see it in the air. And we're both standing there talking in the midst of the smoke. And you tell Queen, no, I'm going to go back in my apartment. I ain't got my walker. You don't have your walker because your walker is in your apartment. You take this stupid ass cart. Yeah, I'm saying it. You take this stupid ass cart with your laundry basket and push it in and go in and get your walker. And if you needed help, all you have to do is say, well, ma'am, could you help me push this in? I can't move fast. Because I could have just told her, I'll go in, if you don't mind, I'll push your cart in and go get your walker. Where's your walker? But my sensories told me, this conversation is null and void because she let it be known, standing right there at her door in the midst of the smoke, she ain't trying to leave the apartment because you're worried about climbing down flights of stairs. Well, we hadn't got to the point of climbing downstairs as of yet. We just want to get off the floor into the lobby, sit a minute, our floor lobby, and assess the situation. Because first we didn't even know if the elevators were working. So let's get from the door, and then we'll worry about stairs and elevators once we get away from the door. She don't want to do that. So guess what? The next time that damn thing goes off, there's a fire in the building. There's a fire in the building. Queen will worry about Queen. Because this is how people get hurt, trampled upon, worrying about other people, helping other people. And some of you might say, ooh, Queen, that's cold. No, it ain't cold because I'm trying to live. I just had a birthday Thursday. What the hell do I look like turning 55 on Thursday, debating with an elderly person in a hallway full of smoke about what she wants to do? Because imagine the worst case scenario had it been a real fire and sprinklers going off or whatever. Ain't nobody got time to be standing there talking. and running down the hall, banging on the door, because you ain't gonna be able to see to go bang on nobody's door. You have to jump down to the floor, which I've done this before many years ago. The smoke was so thick, it was coming in my apartment. I felt my door first, because that's what you're supposed to do to make sure the fire is not outside your door. I felt the door, peeped out the peepholes. Okay, it's dark. That means it's that smoke is that thick. I've got to come out with my eyes closed. This happened for real. I came out with my eyes closed, locked the door with my eyes closed, and stooped down low below the smoke and made it to our floor lobby where the smoke wasn't. It's what they always tell you when it's smoke. Get to the floor, to your belly, if you can crawl. If this had been a real fire and the smoke had come out, God forbid the fire, because you know, I don't know if these are firewalls in here, but the point I'm saying, because I've been nailing up stuff, so it's drywall. You don't have time to bang on your neighbor's door when the smoke is black. Do you understand what I'm saying? Especially if the smoke starts filling up, billowing in your own apartment, you have to get out and worry about you. So there'll be nobody knocking on her door in a worst case scenario. Ma'am, you okay? Ma'am, you okay? Ma'am, come on, let's go. Because she's the type, just the way she acted today, she would be the type, she'd want to pick up this and pick up that and grab this and grab a board game, and God forbid there's a cat, do this, and you'd be dead in there, fooling with somebody that wants to fumble around in their apartment in a damn fire. I'm saying that. And I ain't going out like that. I don't give a damn, because I did the right thing by asking her, ma'am, would you like me to help you? To the lobby. I said, lock your door. Would you like to lock your door, ma'am? I made sure to say it. Lock your door, ma'am. I'm going to lock your door, and I'll exit you to this lobby. We'll decide what to do when we get out there. She didn't even want to walk just a few feet through the push door where you could breathe. I said, well, I'm not going to stand here. I'm not going to stand here with you and keep talking. I said, ma'am, you can see the smoke. We can smell the smoke. That's the purpose of me standing here. And you're standing here for a reason. Whether she was coming from the laundry, I don't know what she was doing, but she was standing there when I opened my door. And I offered her help. She didn't want it. And what she don't understand, if it was a real fire, her ass would have died in there, and she'd have been sucking on smoke until she passed out. You got to think and care enough about you. You can't make excuses about, I can't move, I got to worry about a buggy. If you push this buggy out your door with the laundry basket, that means you pushed it back to your door. That means you can walk. I didn't say run. I said she can walk. So you can't make excuses. Well, I can't go down so many flights of stairs. It don't matter. What you're trying to do is preserve life and get the hell out of Dodge. You worry about them flights of stairs when we get to that point. We ain't got to that point yet. Honey, I'm done with it. Now, as for that idiot down the hall, oh, he better not never say nothing to me. He better not never say nothing to Queen. Don't even look at me. Because he had a nasty attitude. Because really he didn't want me asking him questions. Because once I asked a question and I was trying to follow where he was going, you know, when he kept saying, oh yeah, it was my apartment. And I was thinking like, huh? And he was like, oh, somebody's in my apartment. I said, somebody burned something in your apartment? So it confused me because I didn't see the other person with him. So I said, so somebody else is in your apartment? And so I guess he got annoyed. Who the fuck you annoyed with? You're trying to burn us up. And you're getting annoyed because somebody's asking questions. You could have lied and said, I don't know whose apartment it is. How about that? You could have lied and said, I don't know whose apartment it is. But you want to make up that somebody's in there because you didn't want to take the blame, that you're the reason we are all out here in the lobby talking amongst ourselves like a bunch of rats in a corner. Well, you could have just told the truth. It's my apartment. I had something on the stove. It overboiled. I fell asleep. I went to the bathroom, whatever, in the conversation. You ain't got to make up Minnie Mouse was in there playing with the stove. So you already know tomorrow, if the office is open, Queen gonna definitely tell the landlord exactly how he talked, that it was no big deal, and that somebody else was in there. And you know exactly what they're gonna do? They're gonna go look at the camera, and they're gonna say, nobody went in his apartment and nobody came out but him. And you know they're gonna probably tell him, well, sir, why are you telling somebody that somebody else was in your apartment? Like you trying to blame it on somebody else. Nobody was in your apartment, sir. But this is what's interesting. When I was talking to one of the ladies about what he had said, and this is the one that ended up calling 911, she said, well, he does have a girlfriend, and she lives on our hall. I said, oh, okay. I didn't think no more about it. I didn't even dwell on the fact that he had a girlfriend on the other hall, because this is what I was saying to myself. Girlfriend, boyfriend, whomever, well, where are they? They're not coming out his door. They ain't skipping out of his door. So where is she while all this commotion is going on? Since he said somebody else is in there. So what is he trying to tell Queen? Yeah, y'all know how I get. She was in there cooking. The pot overboiled. And she ran out. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Is that where this story is going? The girlfriend was in there cooking. She got scared when it boiled over, and she panicked, and she ran out of her apartment and ran down the hall, shut her door, and left him in there. And then he came out with his little backpack like he's getting ready to go hiking. And la-di-da, whistling Dixie. And that's the end of the story. Clearly not everyone else is concerned about their own health and well-being. You're still beautiful all these years. I have followed your content. Thank you, KS. Thank you, sweetheart. Didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. How unfortunate she didn't even consider smoke inhalation and her health blessings. You were concerned. And that's why, as I said, people end up hurt and deceased worrying about others, which you're supposed to if you're in the house. Let's say there's a fire, your children are upstairs, downstairs, mom's downstairs, whatever, that is normal. Hey, mom, gotta go get her out this room. Hey, gotta go get my kids out of the room. You're all in the same dwelling. That's different. And people have gotten hurt and died trying to get to a family member, baby, cat, dog. You've heard the stories. That ain't the type of hype today. This was just a neighbor, Angela, coming out of her door, seeing an elderly person standing in front of her, offering her assistance. Ma'am, would you like to leave your apartment? Ma'am, are you going to lock your door, ma'am? No, I ain't going to lock it. So the way she was going, I thought she was getting ready to go out that way toward the door, because she was positioned like she's facing forward toward the door. So that's what it looked like. She was getting ready to go out. So I thought she was coming out because of the smoke. Maybe she was coming out to do laundry. But her attitude is what didn't make no sense. No, I ain't going to lock my door. So that's why I'm saying it looked like she was trying to leave. So if you walking out like you in the direction of going out and say, no, I ain't gonna lock my door, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with all of you on my floor that stayed in your apartment smelling all that smoke? Do you know right now, because I'm in the bathroom doing this live, because I didn't want nobody to hear this conversation, I have the ceiling fan on in my bedroom. In the living room, the window is up. Of course, the heat is on too, but the window is up to dissipate that smoke, because there's no way I could stay in here without the window being up. It is probably 19 or so degrees outside, 20 or something like that. And I have a window up. So that should tell you how bad it smells on the floor and in our apartments. Queen is at the end of the hall, at the start of the hall. So he's way down there. I'm at the beginning, and my apartment smells like burnt food. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? And I have a window cracked to let fresh air ventilate in to get the smoke out of here, because I don't want them in my clothes. And if you've ever been in a fire or talked to people who have been in a fire or smoke damage, you can't get that smell out of your things, your belongings. Okay? Even if the sprinklers come raining down, you have water damage and you have smoke damage to your clothes and things. And you're not going to be able to get that smell out of your belongings. I think many of you should know this, even if you've never been in a fire. So even if there was a worst case scenario here in the building, on this floor, our things would have had smoke damage. And you're not going to be able to get that out. How you doing? My Sunday was so peaceful. And let me tell you, I said I was going to cook some chicken wings tonight, because y'all know I usually do chicken wings on Sundays. Well, now you know. I always bake my chicken wings. I thought, I don't even want to turn the damn stove on after this little incident with this fucker down the hallway with his goofy ass. God forgive me, Sunday, I'm cussing. But you already know, if I see him, I'm going to turn the other way like I don't know him. Because you see I got somebody else hair on today. He might see me and be like, you look like the black lady that was talking to me in the lobby. And you know me, I will act like I'm from damn Afghanistan somewhere. Queen is good at ignoring people. Because I do live around a lot of nosy people. I love this building. I love the area that I'm in. I'm still living on the same side of town, but I'm near a lot of things where I'm at right now. I'm in the hub of Knoxville right now. I'm in the area that most people dream of living in. So I'm very fortunate where I am. I mean, literally, I can walk to everything that's going on. I'm trying to live and enjoy it. But the people in this building, they're very nosy, because I live around a lot of elderly people. They're very nosy. They always want to know which floor you on. Are you new? I haven't seen you before. You don't even know who I am. What difference does it make if I'm new? Just say, hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Because, if that's really a stupid question to say, are you new? I say yes or no. And if I say yes, you're going to say, well, what floor do you live on? Which apartment? Why do you need to know all of the information? If I tell you the floor, then the next question is, well, which apartment? Does it matter? I'm funny like that. I'm not like your typical Southerner. There's days I'll talk to people. There's days I'll share a laugh. Then there's days I don't want to talk. There's days I don't want to converse with anybody. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to talk about nothing. When I'm going and coming, that's washing clothes, checking the mail, in the door, out the door. I don't want you asking me questions. This is not Jeopardy. If you heard Alex Trebek is dead, no pun intended, don't ask me no personal questions. Either speak, don't speak. But don't look at me and say, you don't look familiar, or you look new, or did you just move here? I don't even say how long I've been living in the building. I just say, I've been here a few months. I could have just got here last week. None of your damn business. Now, if we on my floor, you see me coming and going, you might be, oh, hi, welcome to the neighborhood. That's okay. But just walking in an elevator, You worried about, I've never noticed you before. That's because I be pushing a little, little walker because of my knee. Yeah, I go and admit that on the line because I told you I have knee trouble. I have no cartilage in both of my knees, so I'm in real bad shape with my knees. Then too, I've told you all about my planters, and then the complications from the thyroid surgery. I get severe muscle cramps, so sometimes I need a little help pushing along. So yes, I have me a little roller to keep me from tumbling over. But there's days I do, I don't use it when I go to certain places. I don't use it. But I think that's the reason why a lot of people ask me that, because I look like I'm. I guess they say she look handicapped. So let me ask her, what apartment you in? You know, don't worry about it. Stay on my business. I'm doing good. Damn. Yeah, they got a little too much personal information. But I had to go through that in there because some of you probably wonder, well, why do all these people keep asking? Because days you see me when I'm dialed up and I'm, moving quite fine, and I don't use my little push cart because I use it in the building a lot, to push stuff around like the laundry and stuff, heavier laundry. You need something to help push it around. Oh, never seen you before. But I can tell you when I'm not using that little cart, don't nobody ask me nothing. Are you new? Or see where I'm going? Aesthetics. How are you all doing today? I got 17 people viewing. Thank you so much. You're listening to the Vault Excel. Yeah, I thought I'd put this little do on today, honey, because I was timid about wearing it because it's so out there. This is my Diana Ross look. This is my Lady Sings the Blues look. I was going to wear this Thursday when I went out, but I said, ooh, honey, that might be too much for where you going to the juke joint. Save it for when you're going somewhere special like church or to a function or a banquet or something. So instead, I decided to put it on for this live stream for Beverly's Rant. Y'all remember Beverly? That's my alter ego. She used to come out a lot back in the day, especially when I was covering Cal City case. Beverly would pop out quite often. Yes, I have been working on her and trying to keep her inside. Every now and again, she'll pop out during a live stream and have a little potty mouth. So you have to forgive her sometimes. She gets like that, She gets a little excited. Mm-hmm. What's new, everybody? What's new in the street? Talk to me. I got a little time. 32 minutes into this live stream. 33 minutes. What's new? A lot going on in the true crime arena. I have talked about the Tepe case till I'm almost blue in the face. I have had just about enough of the repetitiveness, and it is expected because you're only learning what is being given to you by law officials. But it's a sad case, and I mean, it seems disrespectful, but just saying, everybody repeats the same MO or what happened, who was married to whom, and where they live, and then you got to go through all of that because you already know most of what they're already going to say, but you got to wait until they get to the commentary part of their, podcast. So I get annoyed waiting for them to get to the point of what they're going to say and the guess, But it's truly a tragic case. But as somebody was saying today, I believe it was on, I don't know if it was on Court TV. It was on one of the podcasts. The person said, this is nothing new. The guy said, he said the truth. He said, people unalive people every day. Many people are walking around like Michael McKee. And he is exactly right. This is nothing new of somebody being obsessed, hanging on, can't let go, and decide to unalive the person or persons. It does happen all the time. Somebody's mad that somebody wants a divorce or they broke up with them. And next thing you know, you don't hear from the person. They're now missing. They got family on TV saying, have you seen my sister? Have you seen my mother? It happens all the time. You just don't hear of it being a professional and it being years later. That's why it's such heavy, heavy news. It's a doctor, surgeon who has been divorced since what, 17. The wife is remarried, has children, and she and her husband are unalived. You just don't hear of situations. Usually the people have just broken up or just gotten a divorce or just filed for divorce and somebody pops off, not 10 or so years down the road. But I was thinking about this recently, and I can say, because I'm in the current situation of, as I still have feelings for someone, this summer will be 5 years that, I had met this person, and I still have feelings for him. And I don't like, what I'm saying, having feelings for this person, but what can I do about it? Do I see myself wanting to harm him if I saw him with another woman? I'm just going to say I'd be pissed off. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I would be pissed off. I thought about that earlier. I said, Queen, what would you do if you were out and you saw him with another woman? Because I think about that sometimes. That one day I know I'm going to be somewhere. He's not going to think I'm coming out, and I'm going to bump into him, and I'm going to see him with the woman, and I probably will. I'm trying to say I want to act like a damn fool. I might say something. I thought about that earlier. I said, Queen, would you say something? I might say, well, I'll be damned. I thought you wanted to be to yourself. And walk off. And then she can sit there and ask him, who was that? What's she talking about? Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Because sometimes people don't tell you the truth. They don't want to be with you. They just say, I'm not ready right now. That's an easy way of deflecting and not telling a person, I think you're a nice person, but you're not what I want. I do want to be with somebody, but I just don't want to be with you. Now, he's always saying, I don't want to be bothered. I want to be to myself. I need to get myself together. My thing is, you've had years to get yourself together. What you waiting on? Now, I've met some of his friends, close friends and family, and they have all said the same. That is how he acts. So don't take it personal. It ain't just he don't want to be bothered with you. He treats us all the same way. So it's nothing personal. But what they don't understand, it is personal. It's personal to me. You may be accustomed to him ducking and dodging, ignoring you, won't answer the phone. But I took it personal because I didn't know what the F was going on with this human. I had to learn, this is how he navigates. And actually, I learned it shortly after meeting him. When weeks went by, didn't hear anything. So I went to places where I knew he had took me. And I just asked the people, hey, have you heard from him? Is he okay? I'm just concerned about him. And they were like, he does this all the time. He falls off. He gets mad, gets an attitude. Don't worry about it. But I shouldn't have been offended because they were used to it. And they were looking at me like, honey, what you worried about? This is who he is, honey. He do everybody this way. It's still offensive to a person. You meet a person, you like them, you are vibing well, and then poof, they disappear. As they love to say in the street, ghosted, and then they pop back up 4 months later like they're your best friend. That is troublesome. And what I regret is that I I reciprocated when the 4 months went by and he popped up that November 21. I should have ignored him. And I think maybe I wouldn't still have feelings for him had I ignored him, because that's what we've been doing since June of 21. We've been playing this cat and mouse game, and it's old. And it's too old for me, considering I'm now 5 years short of 60. I cannot see 5 more years of this. Because as I've said to you all in my last live, I ain't trying to end up a Monique Tepe, Spencer Tepe, and I ain't trying to end up a Michael McKee. Hello, T. I don't want to be like none of those people. I don't want to be hanging on to somebody who I know don't mean me no damn good anyway. They're not respecting me. So what am I holding on to? So that's what you have to tell yourself when you feel like you're interested in somebody, or you care, or you love them, or whatever emotion you have. What is it about them? That's what I have to tell myself to keep me sane. Well, what is it, Queen, that's got you holding on? Is it physical? What is it? Because it's nothing. Because if I take away the physical, I'm going to be honest on this live, it's nothing. I mean, there's times we do vibe, we laugh, he cracks jokes, he compliments me. He compliments me. He does. He always will say that I like, older women. I like, the way you look, the way you build. I love the fact that you change your hair. I like the fact that you're clean. I like the fact you're always changing your apartment around. I like the different looks you have. He says, I'm attracted to that. So he can say nice things, but then another side of him could pop off and he acts like, you're an enemy. So it's a terrible place to be. And that's the one thing I will say on behalf of Mr. McKee. I hated for him that he felt he could not let go of her. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I feel bad that he was in a place where he felt like he could not move on. Even though, yes, he talked to other women, that doesn't mean anything because I've talked to other men while still being attracted to that dodo bird. You understand? But I can't just keep sitting and waiting for that person to come around. Yes, I try to talk to other men over the years, but my mind was still thinking about him on occasion. See where I'm going? And Mr. McKee, he did the same thing. I do not condone what he did. I'm never going to condone what Mr. McKee did. But I know what it's like when you have strong feelings for a person and you are out here dating and talking to other people, but you're still thinking about that other person. The only difference, he's thinking about unaliving her. I'm not thinking about unaliving him. Now, there's sometimes, I'd like to push his ass down, but you understand, I'm not trying to hurt the man. I would never go on live and say that anyway. Thank you, sweetheart. Happy St. Bridget's Day from Ireland. Thank you, sweetie. Whatever that is, thank you, but I'll go Google it when I'm done because you all know I love my friends in the UK. I'm a UK fan. I always said I said that yesterday, I could never live somewhere. I could live outside of America. I probably could live in the UK. That's probably the only place I could live. But I like being in America. As stupid as we act, I want to be in America. Because I'm used to things we do in America. Even certain towns might do things a little bit different than the other town as far as, your light bill, your gas, how they want you to pay. Want you to pay a fee to use your debit card, credit card, which I don't like. Why are you charging me to pay my damn bill? I guess I'm ranting today. Why are you charging me? You know what I'm saying? One place lets you use your debit card to pay your bill. And then over here in this one county, Blount County, they want to charge you to use your debit card, credit card to pay your fucking light bill, gas. You're not supposed to be charging me to pay my light bill because I use a debit card. That's crazy. That's robbery. So guess what I would do? I'd march my tail right in there with cash money and pay. And some people say, oh, but you're burning gas. I'm not burning gas. I didn't live that far. Round the corner, round the bend, boom. Right there at the municipal building, boom. Pay my bill. You're not charging me $2, $3 to pay my light bill. Because what you should ask yourself, multiply $2, $1.50 times 12. That's money wasted. If it's $10, $11 a year, $13, $14 a year, that's money you could have still bought something else. That's how I look at life. Cheap toilet paper, 4 rolls of toilet paper a month. But some people are like, oh my God, Queen is crazy. I'm just saying. You all know how I love watching my shows on the weekend, and I watch them through the week too, so I ain't gonna lie. I got up and watched 2 shows. I watched The Carla Project. I watch her on Sundays because she uploads an episode on Sundays, and then I watch the other Space Maker Method young lady. She's over in Korea, and I watch her on Sundays. And oh Lord, all these people with all this stuff is crazy to me. I about lost my train of thought. First of all, I don't see how anybody has a lot of stuff because I don't like a lot of stuff. It makes me nervous. Oh, I see the point I'm going to make. See, I told you my memory's going. The money you waste on stuff, that's where I'm trying to go. Such as somebody charging you money to use your own debit card. It's the same thing. You buy $6 coffee. You like coffee. So you drink, let's say, a $6 coffee every day for lunch, whatever, on your job or whatever you do. Multiply that. Eating out for lunch. Multiply that times 5 days a week. Buying storage containers, because America, that was the worst thing man ever made, was storage bins, tubs. You seen people use them for TVs, hold their damn flat screens on, because they ain't got a dresser, a decent table to put their TV on, a nightstand. Those are the worst things ever made by the damn Chinese folks or whoever the hell made them, because they have become a clutch. Storage bins, baskets, Dollar Tree, all the same. Target, whoever you buy them from. We need proper storage in our homes. I get it. Everybody don't have big closets. Usually you have to get a bigger house to get a bigger closet, or you have to knock down a damn wall. But what you don't want to do is live out of storage containers, plastic bags. I saw that in that episode today with the Space Maker Method and the Carla Project. Both of these women living out of plastic bags, plastic containers, zip-up bags. Hell no. I made a vow before I moved from the last apartment. I do not want to go in a tub to pull out my shoes, to pull out my clothes. I don't want to do that. I don't want to dig it in nothing. And common sense will tell you that once something is pushed in the closet and clothes are hanging over the tub, you are not going to be looking in that tub for whatever the hell's in there. I don't care what the season is. This is why you wear some of your clothes a lot, because it's true. You wear what you can see. The stuff that's way in the back, you tend not to wear those items. Repeat, 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 because you're grabbing what you can see. That's why some of the stuff that you really like is worn out, because you're wearing it and washing it, drying it a lot. You don't want to be a storage container hoarder. I hate looking at them. I watched this one girl today. She was clearing out her house. And when you looked at all the storage containers that she had amassed by pulling stuff out and, putting them in donate bags and all that type of stuff, it was sick, because she said, "Oh, I hired a company to come in to organize my house because I can't do it myself." And when I saw all them storage containers she had, like the clear, the hard plastic containers that didn't have no lids to them, baby, it was a lot. And that was telling you how much stuff she had, because how many containers were sitting to the side. It was a lot of containers. And I mean, and I'm not lying. We're not talking about 3 and 4. So this is what I do. And it's almost like I'm a robot. And it's scary as hell. Every time I turn on one of these shows, I start going through my closets and little cupboards, looking to make sure there's nothing extra hanging around that I'm not using. And I know most of you who will come in here would say, "Queen, there's nothing in your apartment. What are you organizing?" Honey, it's mental. It's just, I can't even explain it. Every time I think I've gotten rid of everything, gone through things, I'll end up going right back over it a couple weeks later, reorganizing it, refolding, just to make sure it's nice, tidy, just to make sure it's something in there I'm using, not using. It's scary as hell. I don't need a lot of stuff. I'm not like how I was 20, 30 years ago, where I had pictures, figurines, candlestick holders, an abundance of stuff. I'm going to tell you what did it for me. I believe it was 2006. I had went into Hobby Lobby. Had never been in the store before with someone. And I was walking through the aisles and I was just looking at all the little pretty decorations and something just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, wow, there's some nice things in this store. And I liked what was on the shelves at that time. Naturally, a little different style than what I had already, what I had in my apartment. And I was like, oh, it's so nice. It was like a clean aesthetic look. This is when the mint green was popular, mint green and brown. And it just hit me. It wasn't like I was in somebody's house. It wasn't like I was looking at a magazine. It was just something about what I saw in the store that night made me think I had too much stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And from that night on, I have never resorted to keeping a lot of furnishings and knick-knack, or as the people in the UK say, bric-a-bracs. I don't do that knick-knack stuff anymore. I had went home after leaving that Hobby Lobby store, and I had a wooden table that I had found because, we always had people getting evicted in our apartment complex, this place I lived many years ago. And there was a table I was able to get, this pretty wooden oak table, was long. And I had all kind of little figurines on the table. I mean, if you saw the figurines, you'd be like, this girl got a lot going on. It was just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And when I walked back into my apartment that night, I stood in my apartment, I looked around, and I said, this foolishness has got to stop. You do not have to have a 50,000 pictures. You do not have to have a little bitty pictures on every little piece of a wall just because the wall is bare. And experts will tell you that now. Just because you have a clear wall, a side wall, does not mean you have to have something on that wall. And I have to teach myself that. Let the corner be bare. The world ain't gonna come to an end, Queen, because that corner's bare. So that's 20 years ago, because this is 26. I gathered up all those little figurines. I had little Oriental figurines. I had like an Indian lady, all kind of little stuff. Wrapped them up, put them in a plastic bags, and took them to the thrift store and redonated them. Got rid of the table, gave it to one of the maintenance men that was living on the property, took down all the little itty bitty pictures. I had a lot of what I call picturesque type little pictures. They look, vintage type little pictures. I got rid of all of that. And I only kept my little Greek head pictures and maybe one big picture. And that was it. Went and got some spackle, put over the holes. I had 1,000 holes. You would think somebody was in my apartment throwing darts because there were so many holes on the wall from where I had picture. And I liked the look. When I got done redoing the apartment, it was zen. It was like a hotel. Bedroom, same thing. Got rid of any little extra pictures, knickknacks. And my apartment looked like something you would see in a luxury hotel. And that's the look I like now. I don't want a lot of knickknacks on the table. I don't want a lot of knickknacks on a countertop in the bathroom, kitchen. I don't want it. Because the more you have with knickknacks and stuff out, you've got to move that stuff when it's time to wipe stuff down. So just like right now, I'm in the bathroom. There's only this purple glass with my makeup brushes in, and then I got a little purple container thing that's holding perfume and some the soap dispenser. If I had all this covered, bottles. When it's time to clean this, I got to pull all that out, wipe around it, wipe them down. It's too much work. It's too much work. Even now, the bathroom is simple. One little planter on the commode, looking for something else for that. I moved a box up there on this shelving thing I've got. It's got toilet paper in this little black box up here. It's very simple. I don't want a lot of stuff. I'm older now. It doesn't take much to please me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I like nice things, but it doesn't take a lot to please me. And that's a good thing. I don't get attached to things. Most of you know this about me. You're always seeing me revamping something, getting something, finding something. The next thing you know, I no longer have it. I've given it away, passed it along. I just don't care. Hey, Sammy. I don't get attached to things. And some of you are probably holding on to stuff from 1912. I'm not. And I'm telling you, I've had some nice stuff, baby. I've had nice clothes, shoes, accessories, knickknacks, everything you can think of. I don't have none of that. I was thinking about that yesterday. I said, Queen, you would have had a lot of stuff, and you don't have none of that stuff. You don't even got nothing from really 20 years ago. I got one thing from 20 years ago, and that's that sunburst mirror where a neighbor, he had sat it out. He was having some mental episode, and I kept that mirror. Other than that, I don't have anything from 20 years ago, just that. I rotate stuff out. It's kind of like an OCD thing. I get sick of looking at something. I get it today and I think, oh, I really like it. 3-4 weeks from now, 2 months, I don't like it. It's really scary, really. I've got some stuff on Facebook Marketplace right now. I got a painting I'm gonna get rid of that I just got. I really didn't want it, but I just got it. It was found. I'm gonna sell it. These big gold lamps, I think I'm gonna sell them too. I'm gonna find me something else. I don't keep nothing. I'm not getting attached to nothing. That's the latest. What y'all got good out there going on? What's the temperature where you are? You're watching this live stream. Type in where you are and the temperature. It's sunny right now in Knoxville. I can see the sun. I can see the interstate. It's cold. I know it's not very high, the temperature. If anything, it's probably 20-some degrees. And I think it's supposed to drop down in the morning. It's been cold. We had, 3 deaths last week. And last I checked, I think there were 29 people who have passed away in the United States from the weather. Okay, there was something I was going to do a live about today. So I'm going to go ahead and discuss it since I'm on now. It's almost an hour in. Excuse me, my nose is running. This is embarrassing. I want to blow my nose on the live stream. Sorry about that, everybody. Sinuses. There's this white couple in Florida that use an IVF clinic. And when the baby was born, the picture that I saw, baby is Black or Hispanic. So naturally, I'm reading the comments under the article. And the top comment, the person had the nerve to say, just move, excuse me, just move on, accept it. Maybe it was meant to be. Now, who are you to say what it's meant to be? Yes, I did, Cliff. Thank you so much. Who are you to say what it's meant to be? A white couple having a brown baby. We're going to talk candidly during this live stream. You may like what I have to say, you may not. You may agree, you may not. It's my opinion. You don't even know if these white people like Black, Hispanic people. Think about what you're saying. You think because they kept the baby, they couldn't possibly be racist or partial to brown people? You got to remember, they have talked about having a baby with people, others, friends, family. So people are waiting on a baby to be born. The baby is born. The baby comes out of the mother's womb, or this woman, whomever. I didn't even read it. I didn't even read it. I just saw them with that damn baby. That was enough for me in the picture. What are they supposed to tell everybody once the baby's here? They got some explaining to do. Where that black baby come from? And then what would they look like saying, oh, we found out there was an IVF mix-up. We ain't keeping the baby. Well, they're suing the company. That's what I want to talk to you all about today. What do you think about what I just said to you? How did you get her embryos mixed up with somebody else's embryos? The fuck are we talking about here? To me, it don't matter, white, black, whatever. The point is, she's expecting a white baby to come out. That's the point. You can't say how she should feel. So then one smart ass said, oh, I'd take the baby, put it in an orphanage. See, you know, Queen had to comment. Now you just sound ignorant. She's going to be judged either way. She keeps the baby, somebody would judge her. If she gives the baby up for adoption, somebody would judge her. Do you understand what I'm saying? The point is, everybody has expectations. That's my point. You can't get mad at her if she is a white woman expected to see a white baby. Beautiful little black baby, brown baby. I'm assuming they're going to keep the baby, she and the husband. But the point is, how did you get the embryos mixed up? And if nobody's paying attention, all these smart asses that were commenting and saying what the fuck she should and shouldn't do, if the white woman got a black baby, somebody else out there got a black, oh my God, it's somebody else white have a black baby and vice versa. All right, Craig Wilmo says, New Orleans, 42. First, when I saw that, I thought, what the hell is that? Okay, it's 42 in New Orleans, one of my favorite places. So ain't nobody thinking about the bigger picture. I'm expecting a white baby. I'm white. I'm black. I want a black baby. I'm Asian. I want an Asian baby. If you're mixing up the embryos, ain't nobody following Queen. Other people are up here carrying a baby, expecting a same race baby. That's what the fuck I'm saying. How the hell am I crazy? So you can't tell that woman what her journey should be. You don't know how long she's been planning and hoping for her own baby. That's the purpose of freezing the embryos and going through these process is so you can have your baby. If she wanted any race baby, she could go to an adoption agency. So you can't say, oh, just deal with it. Maybe it was meant to be. You don't know her. You can't just assume because somebody has a baby, it come out a different race, they want it. That's your ideology. And then naturally, she's walking around. The baby that came out black. Now folks are looking at her wondering what the fuck's going on. And you know damn well somebody gonna say, Susie, what's going on here? Where are your embryos at? Exactly. Anybody understand where Queen coming from? Susie, where are your embryos? Because you carrying a black woman's baby. Well, what happened to your embryos? Hell yeah, this clinic got some explaining to do. How do you mix up somebody's embryos? Aren't you supposed to be taking them out, putting them in a container dish or whatever you do with them, and put their name and social security number on them? So, if this white woman and white husband got this brown baby, that means somebody else gonna have a mix-up as well. So you're not just gonna have this white couple suing you. The black woman who decides to get impregnated, she gonna wake up get pregnant and gonna have a white baby coming out of her, or daughter who carries a baby. Where is the confusion? Just deal with it. You deal with it. Oh, that's right. This is not your journey. Some people need to get the sticks out of their ass and act like they got some damn sense. It is a big deal because a lot of women cannot carry a baby. That's why they freeze their embryos. Sometimes they wait. They have a career, they're trying to do things. So they put the embryos on hold until they are ready to conceive. That is their choice, that is their business. But the point is, they are expecting a baby of their race. That is their choice. You cannot tell that person they should be thrilled or happy. And I understand the flip side. Well, you've got a baby. It don't matter what the race is. The point is, if they wanted a different race, we already know there are countless of babies of all races needing to be adopted. We already know that. But that's not the route that they chose. That's the point. That's not the option that they chose. So you can't tell that woman how to feel to pop up and see this different race of a baby. I'm going to put a poll up about that. Lord have mercy. They are suing the fertility company. Hey, Joy, how are you? Happy New Year. But that was the latest. Some of you coming in late, you missed me ranting about the apartment down the hall, the burning inferno. They burned something on the stove. And you'll have to go back to the beginning of this live to listen to me rant about what I said to the person whose apartment they belong to. But I'm going to be talking to the landlord and letting them know, baby, big girl can't run, big girl can't skip. I'm not trying to die up here in this building. Because I'm going to tell you now, a fire breaks out on this floor or a floor above or under me and the flames are shooting through the floorboards, walls, you can best believe I'm going down them flights of stairs by all means necessary. I don't care if it's a step at a time. I'm going down them stairs. Best I can. What else is new in the news? I saw something else crazy. Still talking about Epstein and the Epstein files and some NASCAR driver, Vickers is his name. He was sending racy photographs or some information videos to Epstein, which that's guy stuff. I thought they were trying to say that the man was gay. I didn't quite understand that article I read yesterday, so I had to Google what type of content was it. So it was just, pornographic stuff he was sending Epstein. But then also, Vickers' wife was indicted for being a facilitator alongside, Epstein procuring women for him, which, that's a crime, young girls and stuff. Oh, it's always something. And then they said, I also read some vile information about Prince Andrew was in the files. And also Jay-Z and some other rappers' name came up, which that seems so far-fetched. I don't know what the hell that's about. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Pusha T or somebody. Pusha T and Jay-Z. I thought, why would their names be coming up with Epstein? Who knows? What's the latest, everybody? What's the latest? Yeah, I'm going live in my bathroom because in the living room, the router's in there, but I didn't want my voice echoing where people could hear me. So I decided to come back here where I could talk in private because I don't want no neighbor walking by saying, oh my gosh, she's talking about us. Hell yeah, I'm talking about you. Y'all know how I get. I don't want to hear all this. I hate when people act ignorant, don't act like they ain't got no sense. And I'm going to tell all of you this, and don't get offended. Please think about your safety, okay? If you have dementia, that's different. But you do not want to be an old fool. I say this to people all the time. A young fool is one thing. You do not want to be an old fool. You do not want to be walking around here acting like you don't know how to think for yourself because you are older. Because I see a lot of older people acting like they were just born yesterday and they don't have dementia. But some of their decision making is scary. And it's like, what's going on? You cannot act timid in a dire situation. You have got to gather your faculties. Hey, I smell smoke. Hey, that smoke is getting kind of close. Hey, I need to come out this apartment. I don't need to stay in here. Let me get out of here. Well, congratulations, Joy. I just pray I don't start acting like some of the older people where I'm acting like I'm so stubborn, I'm willing to die in an apartment and the apartment down the hall is a burning inferno and I don't want to get up because I'm saying, oh, I can't go down the stairs. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, the way that woman behaved today, if it was a real fire and her apartment had got smoked up, I bet you she probably would have tried to come her ass out that apartment. And that's the time when it's dire, you can't see. As I said, you have to jump to the ground to see. You never walk out in smoke. You have to get down low to crawl your way out or stoop. May not be able to stoop, you know what I'm saying, depending on your situation. But you're not going to be able to walk through smoke. It doesn't work like that. You have to watch the early part of this live. You'll understand what I'm saying. You have to get down below the smoke to see your way out. People just act crazy. But I did the best I could. I tried to help the old lady. She didn't want to leave her apartment, so I left her standing right at her door. Long story short, for those coming in on the live. I'm not going to stand here and argue with you about getting out of your apartment when there's somebody apartment got something burning down the hallway on the stove, whatever happened, and smoke is out in the hallway. You can see the smoke. And the lady did not want to leave her apartment. And she's standing at her door when I came out. And she didn't want to leave. So I left her standing right there. I'm not going to stand here and argue with you and there's smoke in the hallway. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to endanger my life because you're worrying about a walker and you can't go downstairs. Nobody can run down 7 flights or 8 flights, 10 flights, 15 flights of stairs. The point is, you need to try to assess the situation. You're not even willing to do that. So that tells me you don't care about yourself. Well, I'm not going to stand here and debate with you. And that's the gist of that story. If you're curious to what the hell I'm talking about. I'm worried about Queen. I'm no longer worried about nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I try to be nice to people because I want people to treat me, you know what I'm saying, with some dignity. So I always try to be nice to people, helping people. You spill something, you drop something, I'm willing to help you pick it up. But damn, you acting like you willing to stay in an apartment and smoking, hey, that's on you. I ain't worried about it. So the next time that fire alarm goes off, I'm coming out my door and I'm worried about Angela. I'm not getting ready to bang on nobody's door. I'm not getting ready to say, you in there, come out. No, not after what happened today, no. I'm done. And I say that going into 2026, it's about Angela. I can no longer be concerned about other people and their feelings and what they got going on to my detriment. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. That was just baffling to me. Nobody came off this floor, well, my hall, except for me and the person whose apartment the stuff was burning in, whatever he had on the stove. And he comes out blaming some imaginary person. And it took everything out of me not to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Who was in your apartment? Where are they? It's a stupid conversation. Oh, somebody's in my apartment. I said, somebody has something in your apartment, Bernie? And I'm looking at him like, well, where are they? And why aren't they out here with you? So my spirit was telling me, Queen, he's lying to you. He's the one that burnt the stuff up in there. And he's come out of there naturally because it's smoky. And then he tried to get an attitude because I was asking questions. I was like, you know what? Let me shut up. And like I told you all earlier, the lady over here to my left, she looking at me trying to get smart with me. What she was like, you don't need to be getting upset. I want to tell her, do you know who I am? I'm Queen. I will get upset about I want to get upset about. I had to look at her like this. Do you know who you talking to, honey? I'm Queen. I'm letting her know I didn't like the guy's attitude and that I felt like he was lying to me. And you sitting up here acting just about stupid and passive as the old lady across the hall. It must be important. Why are you at your apartment? Exactly. You live way down there somewhere on the other hall. Or why you out here? All up in the Kool-Aid out here. Because you smelled the smoke too. Shut up. So you know what I'm going to do next time? Fire alarm go off at Smokey J. I'm just going to exit out. And if somebody say, do you know what's going on? I'm going to say, I have no idea. Even if I saw the flames shooting out of somebody's door. I'm not going to say nothing. To keep me from popping off, I'm just not going to say nothing. And I know that sounds rude, but I don't like nobody telling me how I should feel about anything. Because like I said, I was in here enjoying myself. I was watching YouTube. I was watching my declutter videos, enjoying myself. And I had to get up and get a sweater coat on, grab my purse, get some socks. Hell, I had my socks in my hand when I walked out into the lobby. I had my little raggedy slippers on and my little thermal socks in my hand because I wasn't trying to rush to be putting socks on like I'm 100 years old. I said, honey, let me just get out of here. Because people don't understand when something's burning, whether it catches a blaze or not, it's still smoking. The longer you take to get out, it gets worse. So I was trying to hurry up and get out of here because I didn't know how bad the situation was down the hall. Long story short, wasn't a fire. Fireman went in, came out. Guess they assessed everything. Dodo Bird went back in his apartment and kept on moving. And he's too busy asking me questions about who was arguing next door to him last night. See, he was deflecting. He knew he was the one that left the pot on the stove, so he's going to start talking about somebody else's business. Do you know who that girl was arguing with last night? Who was in her apartment? I said, I don't know nothing about down the hall. I said, I ain't heard nothing. I live way down here. Oh, you know, I can't wait to see the landlord. You know I'm going to tell it. I'm going to be like, yeah, he was deflecting, worrying about some bullshit that went on last night that probably never happened. And he walking out his apartment. Let me tell you something. And some of you going to say, ooh, Queen, you're crazy. He really walked out that apartment like he set a fire and had his little backpack and was just la-di-da, like a fire starter. You know how you seen people go set fires? And then they just kindly walk away and stand across the street and watch the blaze. And then all these people start gathering. What's going on? Oh my gosh, look at the fire. And he's standing there with them. Wow. But also doing like this. We live in a crazy world. But other than that, the building's nice. I like it here. I love the area. Oh, I love this area. I used to live in this area many years ago. And I've always loved this area. I love it because I can go shop anywhere I want nearby. I'm near all the shopping stores, and it's a wonderful place. I'm near places to eat. It's a beautiful place. It's wonderful. I wouldn't choose no other place to live. I've always liked the west side of Knoxville. I just love being on this side of town anyway. Because I was on this side of town before I moved. I'm just a little ways up, a few miles from my old apartment. Now, what's that beeping? I heard something beeping. And I know I don't have nothing beeping because I don't have nothing turned on. See how one situation will have you walking around on eggshells? Because I heard something beeping. And that TV is on the Roku screen. I don't know what that noise is. Lord have mercy. I might just eat some Vienna sausages and crackers for dinner. Got me scared to turn my own damn stove on. What do you all think of the hair? I think it's a bit much. It's so poofy. I like it kind of flattened down because it's so much. But I decided, because I always think of my fans, I said I'm going to put on some different hair for the fans so they can say, "Oh my gosh, the Queen looks so different today." Honey, you know I changes up. Oh Lord. Sorry about my nose running. I have terrible sinuses, and now I obviously have allergy problems too. Oh Lord. That's why I don't like living in a building that's closed in, because you got all type of germs, you know what I'm saying? People sickly, people coughing, hacking, people, not going to the doctor, they could have tuberculosis, they could have all kind of stuff. And I that shit's dangerous, pink eye, whatever. It's like whatever I had a few weeks ago. Scary. Hey Sean, how are you? I ain't talking about nothing, honey. Queen's just venting today. Showing my little gray. Ooh, Lord. Just talking to everybody about what happened earlier in the apartment building. Talked about the Tepe case for a little bit. Talked about the Florida case of the mix-up with the embryos, which is so damn crazy. I'm going to put a poll up. Should the lady keep the baby or not? So I'm going to ask while I'm live. White couple, give birth, see a black baby, brown baby. Do they keep the baby? Should keep the baby? Not keep the baby? They are suing the fertility company. Weigh in. Embryos got mixed up. Go figure. So common sense will tell you somebody else is walking around getting ready to have a white baby. And they could be a black couple, Asian couple, Hispanic couple. It's bullshit. How the hell do you mix up somebody's embryos? Come on now. I'm making some chicken wings tonight. I'm baking me some chicken wings. So I'm going to eat that leftover, stir fry, the shrimp and vegetables. I'm going to have that with the chicken wings. That's going to be my dinner. And I think I want me some white cheddar pasta shells too. That's going to be the dinner for tonight. It is 4 o'clock in Tennessee. A little bit after 4. Oh, well, as for the love life, we can just talk about everything while I'm on this damn live. Nothing going on, honey. Ain't talking to nobody, ain't calling nobody. Ain't nobody calling me, talking to me. It's a lonely old life at 55. Just looking at myself. Because right here I have my big mirror over my bathroom sink. This is it, Queen. 55, talking to your friends, fans through a cell phone. What in the hell is going on? I never thought I'd be this old without a spouse. You know what I mean? A mate. I just never saw this for me. I saw myself being married. I saw me in a home. I just saw me having more. I'll admit that. I never saw me being alone at 55. I'm just going to say that. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? Just never saw this at 55. And then I was talking to this lady that works here. You know, she's asking me questions about the holidays and everything. I don't like this because my gray is showing. Ooh, excuse me. Pull it down. You don't have a cat or a dog? I think I was offended. Okay, so I didn't really do anything for the holidays. I told you I don't have family to live here. And you're going to ask me, do I have a cat or a dog? Oh, you're not lonely? You're not alone? Listen, I'm not trying to sit here and cry a river because next thing you'll be calling the coast, worrying if I'm going to try to kill my damn self. I was offended. It's the way she said it. I thought she was going to start crying. And I did get emotional. You don't even have a cat or a dog? I can't barely take care of myself. What is Queen going to do with a cat or a dog? Oh, man. I have to talk to you all so I don't be in here talking to my damn self. That was deep. Kind of cut me like a knife. You don't have a cat or a dog? No, I don't have a cat or a dog. I don't even have a man. Yes, you have a cat or a damn dog. I've been married for 30 years. Sometimes I wish I could sit in the bathroom all alone and talk to my phone. Oh, Yvonne, don't say that. Don't say that, because I hear people saying that. The people that's alone want company, and then the people who have company, they want a little privacy. But I get that, because see, everything depends on what type of person you are. I know that right now, if I had a mate, there are going to be times that I want to be to myself. I want to go out and shop alone because I don't want nobody rushing me. I don't want nobody telling me I don't need that. Don't put that in the buggy because I will wild out. I know Queen. And that's one thing I don't like is nobody telling me what the fuck I need. Stay out my buggy. But if I was a guy who I could have fun with and we could make shopping, you know, a good thing, it'd be okay. He has patience. He knows me. He's not going to get offended. I'm spending a little, you know, more time in the house wears out or whatever. See, you got to know your mate, and your mate has to know you. So if your mate knows she's going to linger a bit in Walmart, wherever, I'll talk to her when she gets back. I'll spend time with her when she gets back. But if he's the type of guy, he don't mind going in Walmart, Costco, and you don't mind him going with you, then you two shop together. But like Mr. You said you'll find someone. Did you get another Cash App? Oh, Sean, I got the 25. I got the 25 the other day. That was you. I sent you a heart. And thank you. That was you, Sean. My friend, we'll call him Jay, the one from 21, the one that's I still have the feelings for a little bit. He would always say, I don't want to go in the store with you, Angela, because woo, you be taking too long and you got to do this and look at this, look at this. It don't be all that. I just be buying what I need. He just don't like going in the stores. That's all. Because he would joke about that too. He said, oh, every time I come around, you want to go to the store. You got something you need to buy. And I'm like, that's just life. I said, you act like I'm in the store every day. You don't know what I'm doing because you're never around. You just so happen to come over and I decide I want to go buy something or get something because you're here. But it's not like I'm in the store every day shopping. Hell, you got to have money to shop every day. But he would say that, oh, I can't go in the stores with you because you be in there. He liked it. Because if he didn't like it, he would stop coming around. Checkmate. Sean said, you'll find someone. I don't know. It's very hard finding a mate. I was looking at YouTube the other day, and there was this Asian guy. very nice looking. He was talking about why Asian men get a bad rap. Nobody wants to talk to Asian men. So I commented under his video, or whoever's video it was. I said, I wouldn't mind dating an Asian man. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Because I was looking at him, you know what I'm saying? I said, but the thing is, a lot of Asian men like white women. I said, but we're in a different era now. People are dating people. They're not really caring. You understand that the races are mixing. I said, so you probably got some women of different races that would date an Asian guy versus Asian versus whatever. Okay. I said, but I'm older. It's hard to find someone. So at this point of the journey, because I said, I'm going to return, 55 on January 29th, I would date an Asian guy. And I would, because I've seen some nice looking Asian men, honey. And let me tell you, that Asian guy in that video, baby, that boy was bad, honey. Shut your mouth. Hey, if you look good, you look good. I don't care what race you are. He's a nice looking Asian man. That's what we're supposed to say. He's a nice looking man. And I know I have that habit during my videos, because some people get offended when you say the white lady, the black man. But some people will ask, if you tell a story, first thing people ask, and black people, we do this all the time. We do ask, well, what was the race of the man? What was the race of the lady? And I don't think it's always being racial, but let's be truthful. We all do behave differently. Kind of like the incident earlier today with the neighbor across the hall. That being a black woman, she might have said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I smell smoke. I see smoke. This little white lady's talking about the walker. She's not even caring we're in a hallway with smoke. And I'm not being racial. I'm just saying. Maybe this was if it was a black lady, maybe the black lady said, come on, help me. I want out of here. But then the flip side could have been a black lady, and she said, that's okay. I won't worry about it. I'll go in my apartment. All I'm saying is, we as people do act differently. Be you Asian, Jewish, white, black, we all got different quirks about us. But every race is not the same, just like the stereotypes. Make that clear before I get out of here. All black people aren't loud and boisterous. All black people aren't, eating chicken and watermelon. All white people aren't Karens and Kens, nosy in people's business. You understand the stereotypes that we put on each other. It is what it is. Oh, okay. I didn't know, Sean. Somebody did send me something. I can't remember who it was. I have to go back and look. But yeah, it's $ Big Angie 129. And I'm going to change that picture on that Cash App too, because it's about time. This spring, I'll have to get a new Cash App card because it expires, I think, 26, if I'm mistaken. 26 or 27. Yeah, you all want to send me a birthday gift, donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you. We're all different. We're all different. That's what makes us all unique. Thank you, Sean. I'm just shooting the SHIT today. It's not nothing that I'm really talking about. I started this live talking about the crazy incident today with the apartment burning. The guy's apartment had the smoke coming out of it. He had burnt some food or something, and that kind of got under my skin because he was acting kind of, nonchalant about the situation, like it really was no big deal. It is what it is. The point is, let me say this, because you have to be careful what you claim. I'm alive and everybody's okay. Amen. But back to the dating situation. I rarely check my messages on the date app. I'm still on a date site, but I don't go in there every day looking at it. I don't even care. I treat that date app like I do Gmail. I go into Gmail today, erasing notifications because I hate it getting clogged up, and you need to trash that stuff out. I don't care about stuff. The date site don't mean nothing. It just don't mean anything. The people, they don't talk about nothing. Sometimes they want to send you nasty pictures of their private parts. It's just sad. You look at it, but you know not to respond because that man's telling you that's all he wants. Yvonne. Yvonne, oh, I got a story for you, girl, since you said that's gross. It's been a few years ago. He did it maybe once or twice, this older guy. This older guy from Ohio had sent me a message, like, hi, how are you? Or you're pretty, something simple. And then the next message, he sent me a picture of his penis. Grandpa had it going on. Did you hear me? Damn! Where am I playing ticket at, Grandpa? But it still was offensive, All jokes aside, I was offended because the first thing I said to myself was, you're an older man, and this is what you're doing? Sending dick pics? Come on. And what you have to tell yourself as a female, and if you claim to be a woman, if he, be it 60, be it 40, be it 30, whatever the age is, if you will send me, a complete stranger, a picture of your penis, you do this with other women. So there's nothing special about me because, one, we don't know each other. We've never spoken, never exchanged numbers, never had a full-blown conversation, even through a text. It's just, hi, I spoke back, hi, and then you send a picture of your penis. Where's the mystery? Where's the conversation? Hello, Miss Lady, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Wait to see if I respond. You're not even engaging in conversation. You're just, hello, I say hello, and then you send a picture of your wee-wee, and so then I guess you say, oh, she'll like this. Big girl will like this. Yeah, big girl likes a nice-sized penis, but guess what? First of all, you're older, you live far away, and it ain't nothing special because I already know this is what you want from me. So whether you live down the street, you lived in Ohio, Kentucky, it doesn't matter. I know you don't want nothing from me. And at your age, you sending me pictures of your penis, I already know you probably got a girlfriend, probably got a wife. That would come out later, wouldn't it? Exactly. We hear all the horror stories, lying, scheming, scamming, wanting to get a green card, wanting to, just trifling, shit. He got nothing to offer, in my opinion. Well, Yvonne, he's got something to offer. He got something to offer. He just ain't a gentleman. He got a package, is what he got. Honey, listen, you all know I'm very talk junk now. Honey, he don't want to get a hold of Queen, baby. Hey, I give you a run for your money. You'll have, listen, if he had a house or car, it'd be in my name when I got through with him. Baby, look. We looking for Roscoe. Have you seen him? I don't know. I don't know where he is. Well, who are you? I'm Queen. Well, what are you doing here? I'm his friend. Shit, that house is my name. Queen got a new house. Queen got a new car. Shut your mouth. Now, that sounds like I've gotten away with him, but you understand what I'm saying. I got him in the old folks' home. We ain't killing nobody. We got him in a nursing home. Woo! So when I get everything in my name outside, I'm calling the people. Can you come get him adult protective services? He's got dementia. I can't handle him. That's horrible. I've been seeing some movies on Tubi about that type of scam where these people, these guardians, they run in and take over these older people homes and put them in these nursing facilities and, you know, sell all their goods and stuff. I watched a movie like that recently, and I shared it on my community page called The G, about this older white lady who gets scammed out of her home. Her and her husband get put in this old folks facility. Woo, baby, that movie is good, baby. You should know Revenge is Sweet. That's a good movie. And then I saw another one in the queue the other day. It's got a black girl in it. I don't know. I think she's scamming this white family, trying to get this take advantage of this white couple, because it's a black girl and a white girl on the logo. And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out." But I didn't want to watch another crazy movie about, you know what I'm saying, somebody taking advantage of the elderly people. But I thought about Wendy Williams. When I watched that movie, that's who came to mind, Wendy Williams. And I said, man, this is scary. Just imagine somebody coming in your house, busting in your door in the wee hours, telling you to put your clothes on. And you're like, who are you? Who are you? And they're like, I'm your guardian. Your doctor signed over paper saying you can't take care of yourself and your husband. You haven't done a good job. I got to take you and your husband to a facility. And you're sitting there, you know, trying to fuss and fight. And they're like, got to go with us, ma'am. That's some scary shit. That was a scary movie. But little did they know, Mama G wasn't nothing to play with. That old white lady had game. Do you hear me? She made a vow. I'm going to get all of mine back. Every dime. Check it out. It's on Tubi, everybody. Oh, Lordy. Sitting in the bathroom, doing a live. Sammy. Y'all know Queen ain't got no sense. Oh, Lordy. The sun is out. Thank the Lord. The sun is out, so some of that little bit of snow will melt. Hopefully the temperature will get up normal a couple of days. But it has been very cold. This apartment has been cold. And I go up and down on the temperature. 1 minute I got at 68, then I go to 70, then I go to 72. I read somewhere the other day where they said put the temperature at 64. I thought 64. I don't know about no damn 64. Hell, not when it's 9 degrees. No perspective. How are you? Where have you been? Damn. I haven't talked to you in I don't know when. Thanks for joining us. Queen's just shooting it up. She says, and we're watching and listening, laugh out loud. Birds of a feather. Oh, you're so funny. 64 is too cold, girl. Well, Sean, that's what I'm saying. I read that somewhere. The other day it said, put your thermostat at 64. I thought you can't put it at 64 in some cold place like Chicago or Maine. 64 ain't gonna cut it. That's too cool. Oh, that's right. You're in Arizona, 70 degrees. Oh, wow, that sounds nice. 70 sounds beautiful. I like it when it's like 70, 74, 76 with a light breeze, sun. That's perfect weather. Perfect weather for a sundress, shorts. That's it. You know what I mean? All that 98, 101. No, I don't need all that. Because, you know, here in Tennessee, it gets very humid. It's a lot to digest. It gets very humid here in the summer. It's been a minute. Life be life, and I hope you're good, happy, belated as well. Thank you, Perspective. Yes, I wondered where you were. What's been going on with you? Queen ain't doing nothing but just talking about life situations. But yes, the Queen is getting older, as you can see. Matter of fact, I think this hair makes me look older. That's why I didn't wear this on my birthday. This older lady gave me this wig last year, and I tried it on one day when I got it. I thought, ooh, makes you look older, Queen. But I'm going to go ahead and play the part since I'm 55. I'm just going to put this old lady wig on. Somebody might like it. I took a selfie today in it. Posted to my Facebook page. I want to see what they say. Who the hell is that? Who is that old lady? Oh, you know I ain't got no sense. Shut your mouth. You know I make my own self laugh. That's the one thing about me. No matter how upset I get, overreact, get in my feelings, whatever you want to call it, I can make myself laugh about anything. I sit up in this apartment by myself and I laugh about anything. I laugh at myself. I laugh at my reactions to stuff. I watch a lot of TV, and most of it's YouTube, really. I got cable now, free cable, and I don't even watch it. I watch a movie. I watch something somebody said, and I'm just tickled pink. I'm laughing at the comments in the articles, news break. I'm laughing at some of you all's comments, and I just make myself laugh. And that's the best thing about living is when you can laugh at yourself, laugh at your own comments, laugh at your own reactions, and you don't take yourself too serious. Because I do think I'm a funny person. I've been told this all my life, that I can make people laugh, even in their worst moments. Oh, Queen, you say the craziest of things. And I can cheer myself up. So right now, a ton of stuff has happened. Is everything okay with you and the wifey? How's everything going there? Are y'all still together? Y'all still living together, if you don't mind me asking? Have you found somebody new? Queen hasn't found anyone. She's all alone. I'm all alone in this miniature penthouse. You would think somebody come in here, they would love to be in here. It's clean. There's not a lot of stuff to stub your toe on. I don't have a cat to nip at you. I don't have a dog to nip at you. Nobody else has a key to the door. There's nobody coming in, blowing smoke in your face. Nobody falling down drunk. These men don't want that. Oh, as I was saying earlier, it's hard dating here in this area. When I started telling the story about the Asian guy on YouTube, this area is a white area. We have more white people in the area, a few Hispanics. But as far as Black people, no. Black men, no. Everybody is swapping out partners, and I don't want that. I would like to meet somebody that is not from here. Let's say he came here new, but then that would be scary too because I don't know where the hell he came from, what he's had going on. And then my fear, if he's a social media hag, it's all it's going to take. He starts jumping through hula hoops with this one. And the next thing I know, I got some bitch calling me, talking crazy and banging at my door. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do what a sheriff deputy once told me. Hey, woman that named Queen. Your name Queen. Open the door. Yes, may I help you? Your name Queen. Mm-hmm. Would you like to come in? I'm going to let you in there. But you ain't coming back out. What's the old saying? Better to be carried out by 2 than 4. She going to get carried out by 4. The sheriff said, let him in. That's what the sheriff told me years ago when I had a white neighbor. He was racist and he always kept up shit. He said, leave your door open one day. Let him come on in there. He said, call us when you're finished. Now, that's what a sheriff deputy said to me many moons ago. Basically, the sheriff was telling me to commit an act of harm and call them when I was done. Now, you know that's bad business when a sheriff is telling you to put your hands on another human. Because he said, we've had problems out of him, his bad track record. He's the type you can't do nothing with. There's no reasoning with him. And he's that type you're going to have to lay down. You know, that's a horrible thing to say about another human, that they are beyond redemption because they're ignorant. that you gotta hurt them. You know what I'm saying? So some woman calling, she come banging on the door. Common sense will tell you, no, I don't need to open no door. But God forbid if I was coming out and she started bogarting me and I got pushed back in my door, I'm going to do my best to give her the business. But I was making jokes. I could let her in here and wear her ass out. But see, the law is she got to walk herself in here. Kind of like, oh, she saw the door ajar. She came on in here. I beat the hell out of her. God forbid, unalive her. Tennessee law say I'm the winner. I won't be charged. But I can't go chase her out down the hall or beat her, kill her in the hallway. Do you understand? Because she's outside the door. No, we're not together. She's been gone. Divorce is almost final. Found someone, but she wasn't okay with the long distance, and I get it. She also says she doesn't think she will ever be fulfilled by anyone. Wow. Well, where does she live? Where the hell she live? Tokyo? How'd you meet her? Online? Me in this wig, you're not. I don't like this gray showing. Excuse me. Ugh. I can barely pull it down. Well, what are you saying, sweetheart? Where does she live, baby? Got me all up in his Kool-Aid. Y'all know it's Queen. It's Queen, baby. Oh my God. YouTube. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me shut up. You know, I met somebody on YouTube years ago, but he was taken. And I can say I was very attracted to him, but he had a partner, so that was a problem. Oh, Washington. Yeah, okay. So he had a partner, so that was an issue. But had we met at another time, he was single, I was single, who knows what could have happened between us? It would probably have been a very passionate situation had we got together. It'd probably, oh Lord, I can't even imagine. I don't even want to think about it. It'd probably be it would have been a very passionate scenario because I was very attracted to him and I thought he was, very attracted to me. But he's that type of man that would be scary to be with. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have this like electric type attraction with a person to where you hear their voice, you're turned on. You see a picture of them, you're turned on. You video chat and you're turned on. You can only imagine what would happen when you got with the person. More than likely, it'd probably be just like chemical explosion. You know what I'm saying? And somebody like that would be very scary. Because I have that situation with Jay. It's like I can hear him talk and I'm turned on. I can see him, I'm turned on. I can hear his voice, I'm turned on. He's with me in the room, I'm turned on. We don't even have to be touching one another. I'm turned on. That's some deep, you know what, honey? And that's scary. And I just, Lord, I don't ever want to be. I mean, I want to have that type of connection with someone, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I want it to be right. Reciprocal. The attraction is mutual. That's not the issue. It's the being committed. That's the problem between he and I. He ain't trying to be there, okay? But we have this attraction towards one another. He's the type of guy, I could just touch his shoulder. And he, makes a little moaning sound, or he's just like, oh, That's the type of man I'm looking for, that I can look at him and he's like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I can touch him. He's turned on. We don't even have to be doing anything. It could just be, you brush their shoulder, you brush his arm, you touch his kneecap, and he's, you know what I mean. I don't mean to get too descriptive, but that's the type of man I'm looking for, to where he's just like, it don't necessarily have to be, we're getting ready to go, get dirty with it, but it's just, he's attracted to me and I'm attracted to him, and we can look at each other, whether we're across the room or across the street, and we are turned on by one another. And then it's year 1, year 5, year 10, and we still look at each other with that look, passion. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm getting older. So, damn. Time is of the essence. But you have people who say they're older, and guys say, I look at my wife, we've been together 40 years, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I still feel the same way about her as I did when I first met her, when I married her. That's what I want. That he looks at me today, he's enamored. He looks at me 5 years from now, he's enamored. That's what I'm talking about. Chemistry. Even if he's angry with me about something or perturbed, he's still saying to himself or saying out loud, oh, I don't like what you did or said, but you drive me crazy. But I still love you. I'm still attracted to you. That's what I'm on, baby. He can't stay mad. Do you understand? He can't even stay angry long enough because he's so turned on, enamored with the queen. That's what I want, honey. He thinks about me. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hey, baby, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? That's what I'm talking about. I was just sitting here thinking about you. You find yourself funny. I hope so. I was just thinking about you, queen. You hungry? You want me to pick you something up to eat? You want to do something tonight? Want to catch a movie? Let's go here for the weekend. That's what I want. A man who is thinking about me when I'm not even thinking about myself. He wants to go here, there. He don't want to be loafing around in my place or his place, and we just sitting around in lazy boys eating ho-ho chips. Hell no. I want a man that's active. He can get up, he can move. He's virile. All his body parts still work. He smells good. He takes a bath. He's got good hygiene. Y'all know how I am about that hygiene. He keeps his hair cut. I want a neat man. He keeps his fingernails clean, toenails clipped. I want a clean ass man. Thoughtful man. I want that type of man he's up early. He is dialing my phone. What you doing? If we don't live together, he is dialing my number. What you doing, queen? You up? Get up. Damn. I don't answer. He sends a text. Good morning, beautiful. How are you? Hope you well. Just thought I'd check in with you. I don't like a man that can go all day and don't call his woman, his wife. I don't want nobody like that. You call me if you just talked to me 5 hours ago. I don't care. Call me. Make sure I'm all right. Jesus. You got people in relationships, they go all day. They don't even talk to each other. They'll say, oh, she all right, he all right. How you know? He could have been hit by a car. You don't know. You're not talking to him. I don't know what to say. I remember it'll be 3 years this summer. Jay was visiting me. We were talking. And he was talking about, being in a relationship. And he said, I would hate to get in a relationship with you and I start tripping about how long you're gone to the grocery store. That's what he said now. He said, I don't want to be in that place. And I started laughing because I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't want to be wondering where Angela is. Like, okay, she's been gone 40 minutes. What's taking her so long? He says, I don't want to be in that place. So that made me think. He's thought about it. Because why even say it? You only say it because it has crossed your mind. Could I be with her? Could I be in a relationship with Angela? If I did, I'm afraid I would really fall hard for her, and I would possibly become possessive and this and that, and I don't want to be that guy. You know, maybe he was that way with that last lady he dated. And I still think he still cares for her and can't move past her. Yeah, I'm going to say this. And I've told him that. I still think you care about her. That's why you really can't be with anybody. That's why you act strange and cut people off and won't answer phone calls from different people, friends, family, because you are still hung up over that woman. And that'll be a shame to find out that he's hung up over her, and I've met him, and I'm still hung up over him. Do you see? It's just a vicious cycle. And nobody's happy. She's gone on, done God knows what. Because, you know, he had once said, oh, I'm fine with her dating other men. I've even talked to one of her little male friends, and we spoke, and it was no hard feelings. But my spirit was telling me, no, that's what your mouth is saying. You still like that lady. You still hung up over her because you felt like she betrayed you. And so you can't see past go. You can't see being with anybody else because you still are hurt from her. You either still care for her and hurt by her, or you're still hurt and you're afraid of being with somebody else because you don't want to end up being cheated on, so you say. I would never cheat on him. I would never cheat on any man that I'm with. You understand? But damn. You're going to keep holding on to what you had with her and what she allegedly did, because I see flaws in him to where there was probably reasons why she left him and went on and got with another man. It's not saying it's right, but just saying he does have some flaws. He does have some issues. I've seen them. And maybe she just got tired. I'm not saying, you know, that either one was perfect. But he has issues. And he has work to do, a lot of work. And then I have to tell myself, are they issues I want to deal with? Of course not. He knows that, and I told him, you got some shit going on that I don't approve of, that I don't want in my peripheral. But it don't mean I hate him. I still have, you know, some feelings for him. But each day goes by that I'm not speaking and talking to him, it gets better because I don't need to be talking to him. Because I know, one, he's not going to change his ways. Two, he ain't trying to change and he ain't trying to be with me. So shit, what can I do? Nothing. I can cry, moan, scream, try to find him, hunt him down, and do what? Pull a Michael McKee number. Then what? I'm locked up. Then you all are talking about me. That damn queen and went to jail over a man. Nah. I'm not about to give the devil that much a satisfaction. Hell no. It is what it is. Gotta accept it. Oh, Lordy. 2 hours and 3 minutes. I'm going to get off of here and hang up Matilda. Hang up Matilda, because she need to get off my scalp. Because I don't like this little gray poking out, because she ain't staying down like she's supposed to. Anywho, I know y'all like, she twisting her wig on the live. I sure am. I'm sick of it because his hair keeps getting in my eye. It's too much hair. That's why, you know, it's got, to me, it looks wiggy because it's too much hair. I'm thinking if I had this much hair, I'd probably be crazy. Because it'd be a lot to deal with. Well, you guys, I thank you for the love, the support. We have had a journey, have we not? Queen has been down through there. We have talked about a lot of crazy things. Oh, over the years. True crime, neighbors. Thank you, Yvonne. Have to run. Hang in there, Queen. Love you. Love you too, honey. Be careful. Don't pick up no stray cats. Thank you, Sean. Stop by. Holler at me on IG. Big Sexy .71 is my Instagram. You can go to my channel. All my information is on the channel. Holler at me over there. And thank you for joining me. And thank you, Yvonne. Patty, where you been, girl? What you been doing? And look, got the little dancing lady. Ain't that the truth? I've been dancing all right. Do y'all know I went out Wednesday for my birthday, had a pretty good time. Took forever to get a damn drink. Oh my gosh. That's probably why I didn't get a buzz, because it took so long to get the damn drink. I had probably 3 drinks. I didn't have a buzz when I got home, because I went live after that when I got back. On my birthday, I ran around because I was out looking for me a picture and looking for some other stuff. When I got back in, because it was so damn cold, all I could do was eat, crawl in the bed, watch a little YouTube, and I went to sleep. I didn't even have a birthday drink on my birthday. Can you believe that? I said, damn, Queen, things are getting different with you, because I'm not really drinking alcohol like I would sometimes through the week. I have me a little drink or something. I'm just too tired from dealing with this weather and the cold. I can't think of nothing. All I can think to do is eat some dinner and crawl in the bed and get warm. My mind might say, okay, later, pour you a little drink. I ain't even trying to get out of the bed, child. I said, damn, your birthday, you didn't even have a birthday drink. So I made up for it this weekend. I think I had a drink Friday. I had a little small drink Friday. Old enough for it, quite frankly. You got to have a little something with this cold weather. Mix it with some hot tea, do something, baby, because, baby, it's cold outside. Oh, thank you. She said you are so pretty. Thank you, Patty. Thank you. I appreciate that, sweetheart. I need to lose some weight. I done got this double chin. I've been looking at some of my old videos and pictures. I'm like, Queen, that chin wasn't hanging down like that. But my weight keeps going up and down, because I have a thyroid condition. So the weight is like up and down, up and down, up and down. 1 week I've lost weight. 1 week I've gained 2-3 pounds. So really I'm fluctuating between 3 pounds. You understand? Every other week it's up 3, down 3, something like that. 4. Then I begin the appetite. Like I eat a little something, dinner or lunch. Then I start craving something else, piece of chocolate, potato chip. I did that today. I had a little box meal, no sides or nothing. It was pasta and chicken. And then I said, I want something else. And I said, no, don't eat that last little piece of cake, because it's not even a whole piece of cake that I had left over. I said, go eat some fruit. Because when I looked down in the bin, my pears were starting to ripe. So I said, oh, you better start eating them. So I ate 2 small pears for a snack. So I didn't, eat any potato chips or anything like that. But it's almost 5. It's time for dinner. So I need to go put my chicken on. And I might have a little toddy. Because really, I was reading or watching a video last week on YouTube from a doctor saying you need to eat all your salt, sugar during the day. Your snacks, soda pop, because you don't need to go to bed on none of that. Letting the salt sit. You know what I'm saying? The alcohol sit, sugary, all that needs to be eaten through the day, and don't have none of it 3 hours before going to bed. My problem is I don't know when I'm going to go to bed because I stay up late. So I found it better. I drink alcohol. Let's say I have a drink like right now or 7, 8. I only tend to drink just the one little drink and that's it. But before, if I sat up late drinking, I would drink more than 1 drink. I drink at least 2. You know what I'm saying? So it does seem like I'm better off drinking like early evening, because I don't know why my body is so conditioned. If I drink early in the afternoon or evening, I get like woozy quick. It's so weird because my body is used to be drinking late night. Always eat dinner, take a shower, get in the, make me a little drink, go to bed. But now, and really for years, if I drink early evening, I feel like a weeble wobble toy. And it's like I get a buzz quick if I drink early evening, and I can't drink. You know what I'm saying? I can't, drink back to back. I drink one drink and I feel weird. I know it's because I'm conditioning my body to drink late at night. And that's when I snack. So those two don't go together. The drinking and then a snack. Because naturally, alcohol, you crave salt. I do. If I drink a little drink, oh Lord, I'm already wanting a potato chip or hot peanuts. So I told myself, you don't drink at night, you ain't gonna be craving no potato chips. Isn't the body a funny instrument? But the birthday was good. Thank you for the birthday wishes. The birthday was nice. I went to the cafe, had a pretty good time. Like I said, it took forever to get a drink because, honey, they only had one bartender, and they're gonna have to do something about that because a lot of people were coming in, and it's cold outside, and to wait damn near 20 minutes for a drink because you only got one bartender. And I had on these boots with a square heel, and honey, had my feet jacked up, and I was standing damn near 6 feet tall in them boots, like I'm getting ready to go play for damn NBA. I was like, I got to sit down. I already got knee trouble. Damn, I ain't trying to stand up all night waiting on a drink. I was like, I could have stayed at home and had a drink. That's the first thing I was thinking. I could have stayed at home. I don't like that. And they won't get another bartender. I don't know why. If any don't know Jesus, I pray you invite him into your heart and turn from your sin. Okay. So you decided to come to my life with that. Yeah. Well, I know Jesus. I know him personally. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. Please go back to the beginning of this live to get the 411 on the little incident that happened on my floor pertaining to the apartment burning something on their stove, whatever that mess was about. I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood. I want to continue watching YouTube. Go to my community page to check out some videos I have shared pertaining to cluttering your house. Most of you who follow me know I'm a minimalist. I don't believe in a lot of clutter and stuff. It racks my brain seeing a lot of junk. But I share these things with you to give some of you hope who have a lot of things in your house and you need to get rid of some things. And then the truth is less is more. You watch some of these videos, you will be glad to start saying, you know what, I do need to get rid of some things. But they put me in a good mood. And they keep me grounded, not to overshop, indulge, and having a whole lot of stuff. Wear what I have, use what I have. So that goes for everything, food, clothes, whatever. Use what you have. Use. Get tired, donate, throw it out, get you something new. Because you don't need a lot of stuff. You think you do, you really don't. And one thing I've learned that as you get older, you usually change your ways. You go backwards. Depending on your situation, how you end up, you'll probably have to get rid of most of the stuff you have because you probably have to go into assisted living, a nursing home, a smaller apartment, a smaller home. So you ain't gonna be able to take all that stuff with you. And when you leave here, you ain't taking none of it with you. So as you start getting older, such as where I am, a middle-aged person, you really realize you don't need a lot of stuff. And I've even said that about the makeup. I'm down to 2 good lipsticks, need a couple of more, but you understand what I'm saying? Don't need a bunch of stuff. 2 eyeshadow palettes. I made a vow when I got them last year, they were new. This is all you need. Wear a few colors until they start dipping a lot of it out. then go buy your new eyeshadow palette. I'm not getting ready to pay $50 for an eyeshadow palette. It's not that serious. Uh-uh. I like having a minimal amount of makeup now. Because I wear a lot of gold and the pale pink. They've gotten they got down to the nub, so I need to, replenish my lipsticks, but I don't need 50 shades of lipsticks. I don't know whose car this is out here that makes all this noise. Because ever since I moved here, I keep hearing these people. I don't know if it's one person or who it is, but every day they get out, like rev their engine. And I don't understand why they do that. It's just very strange. Because it's cold and nobody's outside to look and watch. So it's like, why would you be doing that? It's very strange. I don't know if it's the people at the car dealership testing the cars. It's very weird. Anyway, follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Check out my community page. Check the polls on my community page. I'm going to put up a poll after this live. And once again, if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. You want to send me a birthday gift or just a gift in general. That's my Cash App. Thank you for the love, the support, the kind words, sentiments for my birthday. The Queen is 55. She's feeling good. I hope that I have shared something in this live that you can relate to. And even if you can't relate, you can just enjoy the commentary and the content. I was a little over there, because that's what the Queen does. She don't stay on just one topic. She jumps around. This month, it's February. Lord have mercy, we're at February 1st. And I think most of you know, 2 years ago this month, a young boy went missing down in Middle Tennessee by the name of Sebastian Rodgers. I will be discussing Sebastian's disappearance later on in the month when it gets close to the date that he was allegedly reported missing. I think I said birthday. If I did, excuse me. The anniversary of the disappearance of Sebastian Rodgers. Prayers that there'll be some justice for him. I've not heard any new updates pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian or Summer Wells. They're both terrible cases. And before I check out of here, I was in the bed last night, and as I tell you, I listen to true crime when I'm sleeping. I just let it play without looking at the screen. And they were talking about, Law and Crime was talking about Evelyn Boswell, the baby whose mom suffocated her and put her in a bag in the shed on the father's property. And when she spoke, because the judge allowed her to give commentary, before sentencing and all that, she said, "I'm not guilty. I did not kill my baby. And I feel like what you all have done to me was unfair. The information and this, that, and the other that came out in the trial or whatever." And I said to myself, listening to that this morning, I said, this is the very reason why your ass is locked up. Because you are selfish and you were a pig living in that trailer, nasty. And yes, you came from a traumatic life with your parents who fought and was on drugs. But the point is, you could have given your baby up for adoption. You could have given your baby to somebody. But you wanted a better life, and you wanted a life without having her. So you murdered your baby and threw her and her things in your dollhouse, shed, whatever, that belonged to your father on his property. And that's what I thought about. She threw that baby in a wrapped in plastic foil all around her face, head, suffocated her, put her in a plastic bag, put her in a garbage bin, plastic garbage can, along with her belongings in that same shed there. That stuck with me this morning. Because that was symbolism, if you paying attention. I've killed my kid. I've wrapped her up tight in this plastic bag inside of a garbage can. And beside her are all of her belongings. Clothes, toys, etc., etc. That's a cold bitch. threw away her child like trash after unaliving her, and stored her in a shed next to her things. And I'll tell you something else that's baffling about that information as well. The fact that the father called 911 and told them, you might want to go in the shed to check down there. I found that odd. You told him to go check the shed because you looked in there and saw her things in there? Or did you go look in that trash bin and took a whiff and an eye view of your dead grandbaby? Come on with it. Because even today, that information sounds strange to me. You might want to go in the shed, dollhouse, and look around. You've had to been in there and seen something to tell law enforcement to go in there. Anybody paying attention? You didn't tell them to go look in the old trailer that she was living in, that she left nasty in a muck, and the guy testified about how filthy it was, dirty diapers, fecal matter, empty milk jugs in the refrigerator. Trifling. And had a baby living in that filth. And even a friend testified that when they met at Chili's, the restaurant, the baby was dirty and she could smell her from across the table. That just ate me up listening to that. And I'd heard it before, but hearing it again, hearing the words out of the mouth of the girl, not hearing it through the newspaper, but hearing it out of her mouth on the witness stand was horrible. And then the father, Megan's father, says, go in the shed because you found what you're looking for. I think he looked in there and realized that baby was dead in there. And didn't call and say, hey, I found my dead grandbaby in here. Because I just think it's strange that you would say, go to the shed and look around. Look for what? Maybe I'm wrong. It just sounds strange to me. So I told myself he had them going in there and saw, oh, her belongings are in here. Her things are in here. Why are her things in here? Well, let me go call the sheriff and tell him, hey, I just looked in the shed and I see all the baby's things in here. Maybe you could come down here and look through some of these things and see if you learn something. Very strange. But justice was served. The judge said, you ain't never going to walk free. I don't care who got up here and testified and said you had a horrible life, bad life, foster care at 17, pregnant, knocked up. You deliberately killed that kid and suffocated her to death and threw her in a trash can along with her belongings in a shed. I'm going to give you an extra 33 years too, plus life in prison. And when she got on that witness stand to give her last conversation to the public, the jury, she basically told them, y'all got it wrong. I made some mistakes pertaining to my trial. I didn't kill my kid. And she was giving that same nasty grin she gave when she was doing her TV interviews. She's in Mendoza with my mama. I think she's in Mendoza in Virginia with my mama at the park, at the RV park. What are you laughing about? We thought your child was missing. Your child was dead because you killed her. And you're smiling during a TV interview, trying to implicate your own mother. So all that came back to me. All of those versions, TV interviews, different conversations about the boyfriend and just everything. And when she finally gave her last words, she's still blaming other people and saying, I didn't kill her. But all roads pointed to you because your fingerprints were on the foil that were wrapped around your baby's head and face and mouth. So why would your fingerprints be on the foil, Megan? Because you killed your kid. And even at the very end, You're telling everybody what they did wrong, how they got it wrong, and you didn't unalive your baby. That stuck with me this morning. And we have a lot of sick, diabolical people out here. Sorry about that background. I don't know what this guy is doing out here with his car. So what they're doing is strange. But anyway, it's disruptive. Those are my thoughts. And as they're saying with this Teppy case, it's the same as what I'm discussing about this heathen and that baby. There will be another Megan Boswell. There will be another Evelyn Boswell. There'll be another woman unalived by her husband or boyfriend or somebody that's stalking her. There'll be some more children left without their parents because somebody is selfish and feels self-entitled and has a God complex and think they can do whatever they want to another human being without any repercussions. But know that there is a penalty and a price to pay for unaliving a human. That's my commentary. You all have a wonderful week. God bless all of you. Once again, check my community page for said updates, videos, posts. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.